Hey everybody, welcome back to Peachy Disc Golf. Today, I'm visiting my friend Daniel up here in Charlotte. We are here at Eastway Park in order to test out the new discs in the first quarter of 2024 Prodigy Club Subscription Box. So let's see what's in the box, and we're gonna give all of these discs a little try here today. I'm on a road trip for work and passing through Charlotte, so I was like, let's hit Daniel up, play a couple rounds here in the area. We're here at Eastway Park. Of course, I've never played personally. Today we're trying out the discs in the first quarter Prodigy Club Subscription Box for 2024. We got 5 discs in here, and then I'm actually gonna be tossing in a 6th bonus disc. I'll talk about it in just a second. If you're unfamiliar with this, basically Prodigy has a quarterly subscription box where once a quarter, they send you out a really nice box with 5 discs, and usually there's also some like apparel and other goodies, so I didn't bring them with me, but in this first quarter box I got this like really sweet like insulated cup and also a pair of Prodigy branded socks, which unfortunately were a little too small for my humongous feet, but I gave them to my wife and she said that they are nice and comfy. So got some pretty sweet apparel, but obviously the main attraction here is the discs. So let's open up the box and see what we got here. Each box will have a little flyer telling you what's in the box. So here's what we got. Starting off with a brand new putter. So in the past like couple of boxes, they've had these sort of prototype discs. There was a prototype mid-range in the first box that I got. They had a prototype fairway in the second one, and now here we are with a prototype putter that is in their newest plastic blend. It's called Fractal Plastic. Take a look at this. Really cool like color swirls. Mine is like in this green and black. It's still 300 plastic, so it's not like, I guess it's not a new plastic blend. It's just a new visual treatment that they're running. It looks really sweet. So it feels a little bit shallower in the hand than my PA3 that I'm putting with. And I don't know if it's just this copy or not, but I will say one thing that I'm noticing is that the bead is kind of sharp versus my PA3s, which have a really nice rounded bead. It's not like uncomfortable by any means for me. The 300 plastic feels great. I would be lying if I said I was not excited to get some PA3s in this fractal visual treatment. It looks sick. So I cannot wait to get PA3s in this. So I'm excited to try this out. I'm gonna be putting with this today, and I'm gonna be throwing it off the tee. I really wanna know, is this putter glidier than the PA3? That's something that I had been complaining about a little bit with the PA3s. So we'll see. I'm really excited to give this a test. It fits my hand really nicely, so I am really excited to give this one a try. Next up, we got a mid-range in the box. We have a Test Run Plastic 2.0 M3. So another thing that Prodigy had been doing in their last couple of boxes is they've been toying with some of their plastic blends. So like in the bag right now, in my actual bag, I have a test blend archive. So this is basically like an updated 400 plastic, I think. It feels great. This plastic has such like good grippiness. It's not slippery at all. I know some of the like older 400 plastic discs I've had from Prodigy sort of get a little slick. This feels great. I've never thrown an M3 before. I'm pretty excited to try that. I do have an M4 in the bag. That's I did mention that I had like an extra disc. So this subscription box got sent out to me a little late. And they're like, oh, we're so sorry, here's a $15 coupon. So I used that to buy an M4, which is very similar to like the Hex and the Buzz. It's their sort of straight workhorse mid-range. The M3 then, with their naming convention, means that this should be just a little bit more overstable. So I'll actually probably be throwing both. I brought that M4 with me, and we might do a little comparison to see how it flies, but this Test Run Plastic feels really, really nice. I do hope they bring this out into the market sooner than later, because I would love to get some other discs in this plastic. It feels great. I mean, and this M3, right off the bat, it feels really comfortable in the hand. So pretty excited to try this one out. We got a fairway driver, or is it a distance driver? I actually don't know. This is a Prodigy H7. Look at this amazing Kittyzilla stamp. I love it. I don't love this color though. That's definitely not my favorite. I wish it was like a purple or a pink. So the H7 is a super flippy hybrid driver. I believe it's like a 10 speed. It's either a 9 or a 10 speed, somewhere around there. I'll put the numbers down below. This should be a super easy hyzer flip disc. We got an approach disc in the bag here. This is a Glow Plastic A1 4205, super beefcake of an approach disc. My most overstable disc that I'm using is my A3. I've also thrown the A2. I find the A2 and the A3 are pretty similar. I just think the A3 is a little more comfortable. We'll see. Is this even more overstable? Would I even like consider bagging this? I have no clue. We got one more disc, and this one I am really excited about. This is a lightweight 164 gram X2 in their air plastic. So right now I am bagging a X3 in air plastic, and that is sort of my like max distance driver. But because it is so lightweight, it is very prone to flipping over, especially in any sort of headwind. And I really wanted to try the X2, but I knew if I get like a max weight one, I'm gonna lose a ton of distance because I have a little baby arm. Finally, they're releasing the X2 in air plastic. So this is something that I was considering bagging at one point, but I was like, I don't want to get one in max weight. And here it is, 164 gram. Not my favorite color. I, again, prefer pinks, purples, blues, and things like that, but I am really excited to give this a try. I do have my X3 with me. We're gonna see how much more overstable is this X2, and is that overstability gonna cost me like a ton of distance as well. So we're gonna go play probably 9 holes here at Eastway Park, and we're gonna see how these discs fly. All right, so we're starting off here at hole 1. Looks like it's 171 feet par 3. You see the basket ahead here off to the right, which shapes up nicely for a forehand. If you've watched the channel, you know my forehand is very inconsistent at best. So we're gonna give it a try though, and we're gonna go with the A1. Just try to pipe it down the fairway here on the left and fade back to the right. Okay, a little short there. I got lucky. There's a little low ceiling there. Super overstable. We have the new prototype putter, and I have my regular PA3 as well. So we're gonna give both a putt. Let's start with the PA3. All right, so just off to the right there, but it had the right height. Let's try the new putter here. That was interesting. I felt like I putted that a little softer, honestly, and it still got there. So there's a chance that that has just a touch more glide. All right, hole 2. We're playing from the long pad here, 618 feet par 4. Water carry off the tee here. We're gonna try out our distance drivers here. So I am gonna pull out my X3 first here and show you what that would fly like. We are still sort of throwing into a slight headwind, maybe a little crosswind. So I'm gonna try the X3 first. I'm gonna have to put it on hyzer. We'll see how that goes, but then we'll be able to get a nice comparison to see how much more stable this X2 in air plastic is as well. So this X3 I have, it's 164 gram, and this X2 is also 164. So sort of like an apples to apples comparison here. So we'll start with the X3. All right, well, I put enough hyzer on that one, just in front of the short pad there. But you saw I still flipped up the flat nice and easily. Probably put a little too much hyzer, or if I would have put a little less, we could have gotten a nice little S shape out of it. But with this X2, I'm actually gonna try to keep it flat, and it might have a similar shot shape to that, but we'll see. I really want to see like how much less distance am I gonna get with this disc. Yeah, that's way more stable, way less distance too. Oh, I guess not way less, 10 feet or so. I thought that was gonna be way short. So yeah, they're good complements for each other for sure. That is significantly more overstable. We're gonna try the H7 here as well, just because I don't know what the fairway is gonna be like. So we're gonna give this a shot, a hyzer flip, just going straight ahead. Ooh, that's pretty nice. It definitely is not as understable as my F7 for sure. Like actually, we'll do that real quick. Just gotta make sure to give this enough hyzer, not flip it to the right into the water. Yeah, you can see just how much more understable that F7 is. It's way easier to flip and turn over to the right, but the H7 has just a little bit more fight at the end, which honestly is pretty nice. It'll be really nice to get some like S shapes out of that. I bet I could throw that pretty flat, get a nice ride to the right, but still a nice little fade at the end as well. So I'm gonna throw from where my X2 landed, and we're actually gonna go with the X2 again here. Okay, not bad. Let me get my H7 real quick. Oh, that slipped right out of my hand, but it still worked out. I think that's a little shorter still. All right, so my
two discs. I thought the H7 was way shorter, but you can see they're literally stacked on top of each other. Basket's right over here. I'm gonna try the A1 here again. This time actually giving it full power on a backhand. Oh, no, the roll down the hill to the left. I'm gonna do PA3 again first, and then we'll do the prototype second. Okay, not bad. Close attempt there, just faded off a little bit. Similar, I do think that had a touch more glide still. I just threw it a little lower, but I thought both of them had a good chance of getting there. Let's try one right here, a little outside. Putt PA3 first, just for fun. Okay, and then this. Yeah, I feel like I'm throwing this new putter with just a little less effort. They're similar for sure. I don't think it's like a night and day difference. So here we are, hole 3, long tee again, 585 feet, par 4. The hole looks like it shapes a little bit to the left and then it bends back off to the right. So basically Daniel says, just keep it in the middle here, go with a nice little fairway driver shot. So the only fairway I have is this H7. So I think what I'm gonna try to do is just keep this pretty flat actually. I wanna see how it reacts off of a flat release. Not bad. We're off a little bit to the left, but I don't think I got tangled up in anything down there. I do have my Zeta's Moon. This is sort of the disc I've been comparing it to in my head. So let's give this a shot real quick just to see how these two compare. Okay, that Zeta's Moon is actually a good deal more overstable for sure. I have nothing here. Like I can easily pitch out into the corner here. That's pretty much what I'm gonna have to do. So we're doing that with the A1. Okay, I'm gonna have some awkward footing there, but hopefully we can see the basket over there. I'm gonna go with a little turnover and we're gonna try that with the new prototype putter. Oh, thought out of it. Dang it, maybe I should have gone forehand then. Really scenic putt here. Finally, we'll get to see, is this glidey or not? So regular PA3 putt first. Okay, so pretty short. So let's see if we do like the same power. Does it get closer? I think it's got a little more, just a little bit. That was definitely closer. I wanted to compensate and give it a little more, but I tried to keep the power about the same and it was still short, but not by much. It almost hit the pole there. Hole 4, 183 feet, par 3 from the short pad here. Little ace run here. I'm actually gonna go backhand, so that's gonna probably ruin my chances for getting an ace here. I'm actually gonna shoot. There's a little gap to the right of the basket in between two little trees. That's my aiming point. We're gonna use the new putter off the tee here, see how it flies towards the basket nice and straight. We'll also do a quick comparison with the PA3 and we'll talk about like how it feels in the hand comparatively. So off the bat, like the PA3 feels just a hair deeper, but not by much. And they both feel good in the hand though, in power grip and in fan grip. So definitely, yeah, just a little bit. It feels like this is just a little shallower. That's really the only difference that I'm noticing. And again, the bead on this new putter is a little sharper, which makes it a little more uncomfortable in power grip for me personally. We'll start with the regular PA3 to get a little baseline, and then we'll get the prototype right after that. Oh, let's make that correction then with the prototype putter. That's the secret all along. That does have a lot of glide, it feels like. I did not put a lot of power on that and we're about pin high there. We're gonna switch things up. We're gonna putt with the prototype first, try to make it in, and then we'll do the PA3 second and see if we come up short or how comparable they are. Okay, snuck it in the right side. Oh, from this range, they're pretty similar, honestly. I had the right height still with the PA3, just threw it off to the right. But they were both about the same height on the chains, it looked like. All right, we're gonna risk it here a bit on hole 5, which is 292 feet. It's a par 3. Basket is gonna be up to the left here, but there is a little bit of water carry and a tight fairway just ahead of that. So I'm gonna be going with the H7 here. This is probably the disc that I would be the least sad about losing. It's safe. Well, from here we'll finally get a chance to throw the new mid-range here, the M3 that I have. So we're just gonna go straight through the gap. Oh, terrible. Jump putt. So for fun and to make myself feel better after the terrible tee / approach here, we're gonna play the short tee also, which is 175 feet, par 3. You can see this time we're coming in from the left side from where we were standing before, basket straight ahead. Feels like a Chambly hole, which, rest in peace, Chambly disc golf course. Geez, so sad. We're going with the prototype putter here on a little turnover. It's a little 10-foot putt there, I think. We're gonna play from this one, get a little birdie, you know, no big deal. Hole 6, long tee here, 267 feet, par 3. Look at this straight line shot you gotta make. Basket is off to the left. We're gonna try out some mid-ranges because we haven't gotten a chance to throw these yet. So we're gonna go with the new M3 that I got in the quarterly box here, and we're gonna compare it to this new M4 that I bought with my little $15 off coupon. This disc was basically free. Yeah, that's a pretty nice neutral mid there. Does have a little bit of fade at the end, but it carried straight for pretty much that entire flight. Let's see how the M4 compares. If we can replicate that shot, that would be amazing. Dang it, we don't get to compare. No. That's okay. At least it didn't just drop straight down. Oh God. That dropped faster. That dropped faster, it looked like. Hole 7, 280 feet, par 3. I guess we could either just go straight through this middle gap here or maybe a little turnover through the left side. I think that's actually what I'm gonna try with the H7. And we'll see how long it holds the turn. Okay, it faded out. So, oh, it rolled into the fairway. We're gonna test out some mid-range throws here. We got the M3 that we got in the box. We have the M4. This time I'm gonna try not to hit a tree with it. And I also have the archive with me. This is in the last quarters box with the older test run plastic. They feel pretty similar to me. I don't know what the difference would be. Like, they both feel like they have the same amount of grippiness, same gumminess. This test run, the original, actually might have a little more stiffness even, but they feel pretty similar. They both feel good in the hand. We'll start with this M3 first. That feels pretty similar to my Hex, honestly. Like, it goes nice and straight. It does have a dependable fade at the end. So the M4, in theory, naming wise, this should be a little more understable, but we'll see. That swung more to the left. That got lucky. I didn't hit a tree, but I came close. Honestly, the M3 and the M4 feel very similar to me. So let me know down in the comments if you've thrown the M3 and the M4. How do you think they compare? I might try to do another field test before we end this video, but those feel pretty similar. We're gonna try the archive out. I expect this to be a little more on the overstable side, but I don't think it'll be like much more overstable. I put that on a ton of hyzer. That was a terrible throw. So my M3 and M4, 5 feet away from each other, and my H7 isn't even that much further ahead. Okay. Oh no, the roll. Oh God. Yeah, the PA3 feels like it falls out of the sky on these longer putts just a little bit earlier. The PA3 is a 3301. I would probably give the numbers for this new putter like a 3401. I think the fade and the overstability is similar, but I do think that the this new putter has just a touch more glide. Can we save the par? No. Yep. Okay. Hole 8 of the short loop. Super short hole here, 115 feet, par 3, straight ahead. This is very much a Chambly hole. So we're just going with the the new prototype putter here. Oh, that looked so close. This had to be so close because we were actually like past the basket here. It didn't hit any chains or anything either, so sad. What is this basket though? Look at these chains. So weird. All right, so hole 9 is closed right now, unfortunately. So we're gonna do a little makeshift hole 9 here at the practice baskets. We're gonna go for this further one away here, and we're gonna test out the 3 mid-ranges that we have. So we're gonna start with the M3, then we'll go with the M4, and then we're gonna wrap up with the Archive. Yeah, that's pretty nice. It's definitely got a little bit of overstability, but not like a crazy amount. It goes pretty straight. It does not like start fading out early or anything. Just a little straighter. They're similar, but that M4 really seems like it has a little more glide, a little more push forward. Oh, it is, for sure. Still got good glide though. Honestly, they are different, not by a lot. I don't know if I would bag all 3 of them by any means. You could probably get similar shots with any of them, but they do have slightly different flights. Like that Archive still has good glide, but it definitely fades a little bit harder to the left. I think all of them sort of will fill a similar slot for different people. You just got to figure out which one is best for your games. So you can see all of the mid-ranges pretty much ended up in similar spots as far as distance is concerned. The M4 definitely went the furthest, so that little -1 turn that it has, I think just carries it just a hair further. So M3, similar shot shape, and the Archive, I sort of threw on the same like direction, but it definitely faded the furthest to the left. So we're gonna putt from the M4 or M3 here. I think it's got more glide. All right, well, I had a ton of fun testing out the new discs that I got in my first quarter Prodigy Club subscription box. I've gotten 3 of these quarterly boxes now, and I have to say they've been like such a treat. I really have enjoyed every box. It does feel like pretty good value for money. You're getting 5 discs and a bunch of other extra stuff. Like I'm wearing my Prodigy hoodie under my Peachy disc golf hoodie. All of the discs, even though I don't bag most of them, have been a lot of fun to try. I've been loving the new like prototype discs that they've been releasing in each of these boxes as well. Start off with the new putter here in their Fractal 300 plastic. So first off, this fractal design, I love it. I cannot wait till they release more discs with this visual style because I really think it looks cool. I actually think I like this prototype putter just a little bit more. It feels similar enough to the PA3. The only downside I have is with this particular one here, the bead is just a little bit sharp. I wish it was a little more rounded like the PA3's bead. Throwing, I definitely notice it a bit more in a power grip. It digs into my finger just a little bit harder, but it's not uncomfortable or anything, but it is something that is worth noting. But I do think when putting, this just has a little more glide, it feels like. On longer putts, it did seem like this would just stay in the air just a little bit more. I really am looking forward to this being released. I think it's a great disc, and I would definitely pick up a few and would strongly consider switching to these. I really love them. Moving on up to the A1, there's not too much to say. You saw in the video, this is an absolute beefcake. It's definitely not a disc I plan on bagging. It is really comfortable to throw. This glow plastic is like really vibrant even here in the daytime. I think it's got a lot of overstability. It's really nice and comfortable in forehands as well. But for me, personally, I'm gonna be sticking with my A3 as my most overstable approach disc. I don't need the beef of this A1. So in the mid ranges, this is sort of where I have the most sort of inner debate with myself because I really do like this M3. And I also really like this M4. And I also really like this Archive. I will say right off the bat, this new test run plastic feels great. I prefer it over regular 400 plastic, and I prefer it over this 500 plastic even as well. Prodigy really is onto something, I think, with this new test run plastic. It's just got really good grippiness, perfect level of stiffness for me. I definitely don't want all 3 of these, even though you technically could because they are slightly different. But I do think I'm gonna be keeping the Archive in the bag at least because it just is a little bit more overstable. But I don't know between this M3 and this M4. So the biggest thing for me is that personally, I think this M3 is actually a little bit more comfortable in the hand. I think it just fits just a little bit better than the M4. The M4 is just a little deeper, I think, but not by much. The wing shape of this one just sort of fits a little bit nicer, so I really like the way that it feels a little bit better, but I think I like the flight of the M4 a little more. So I don't know which of these two I want to bag. I do want to bag one of them. I love the hand feel and the plastic of this one better, but just that little extra distance I think is sort of edging the M4 just a little ahead for me, but they are pretty similar, honestly. Okay, so another disc that I loved is this new H7. I didn't mention this, but this is actually in a different test run plastic. I think this is called Test Run 3.0, and it's supposed to be more similar to 750 plastic, which I could definitely tell. It's definitely a little bit stiffer than the plastic that those mid-ranges is in. I really like the H7. I love this stamp. I really want to bag this disc, honestly. I would take out the Zeta's Moon for this H7. I feel like they have similar shot shapes, but I think I'd be able to just get a little bit more turn and distance with this H7. The only thing stopping me is I hate this color. This color, like, it just matches this dead grass that I'm standing on. So Prodigy, if you're watching this video and you want to hook me up with like a purple or a pink H7 with this sweet Kittyzilla stamp, I will 100% take it and put it right in the bag. But I do love this disc. It's really nice for my slower arm speed. I'm sure if you have a faster arm speed, this is probably like an easy roller disc for you. But for me, that's sort of more the F7 and F9, where this would be a nice, easy S-line disc for me. Maybe an H7 will make it in the bag, but definitely not this one. I just don't like this color at all. And last up, we have the X2 here. This disc is exactly what I hoped it would be. It is just a nice overstable complement to my X3. Now I am contemplating taking the X3 out of the bag and just sticking with a wave and a photon, because I am able to get further distance with the X3, but I definitely need to get a nice clean nose down release. And if I have any mistake in any of that, it just fades out super early because it is a 12-speed driver. Whereas with the 11-speed wave and photon, they're just a little more forgiving. So honestly, I probably should take the X3 out of the bag and just stick with the wave and photon until I get like a little more consistent release, and then maybe move up to a 12-speed driver. But when I do, and if I do, I would probably take both the wave and the photon out and swap it for an X2 and an X3. I was not worried about throwing this into a headwind, even with it being a lightweight driver. I threw it into the headwind over the pond and it still fought out really easily. Definitely trustworthy, really good complement to the X3. They feel very similar in the hand. There's not like much difference. This definitely has a little more dome than my X3 does, but not by much. It's still very comfortable. I really liked the X2. I really like the X3, but they're perfect complements for each other. But yeah, that's it for this episode, guys. Let me know down in the comments if you've gotten a chance to try out any of these new Prodigy discs. What do you think of this quarters box? And if not though, which of these discs would you be most excited for a wide release out into the market? Because for me personally, I cannot wait for both the fractal visual design on other discs, but also for that new putter to get released. That is it for this episode. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't yet, I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. If you enjoyed watching this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and ring that notification bell so you can be notified when our next episode comes out. Until next time, guys, cheers.